Hey everyone, it's Vinny. Welcome back. Last weekend at Gulfstream, the Fountain of Youth, obviously a lot of scratches. We lost our play there. Siege of Boston gave us a thrill. Ran a big second behind Emmanuel. Kind of wish I played that exact instead of just playing him to win. Oh well, if you did, nice hit. Sunday just was not great. Was not nobody really moved. So can't win them all, but this weekend we're looking at Tampa Bay for Tampa Bay Derby weekend. So let's get into it. Race 9 on Saturday at Tampa is the Hillsborough Stakes. And my top pick off the bench is going to be the number 7 Elusive Princess for Delacour. Last summer, when this one ran at Saratoga, she was just very impressive in the Saratoga Oaks. And she followed that up with a very strong effort in the Grade 1 Queen Elizabeth II at Keeneland. She ran fourth, but she finished fourth to Mauge, who was just running lights out last year. If she improves off that 3-year-old form, she's going to be very, very tough to beat in here and just in this filly and mare turf division in general. I'm going to play a win bet on her. I'm also going to play her in exactas. I'm going to key her in the exactas with the 2 Chad Brown runners, the number 1 Fluffy Socks and number 2 Market Segmentation. I think there's going to be a nice pace. I do think Elusive Princess, if she improves off her 3-year-old form last year, is the one to beat. On my deep multi-race tickets, I'm going to use all 3. On my skinny ticket, I am just going to single Elusive Princess, and I'm going to key her in the exactas. I'm going to key her on top of both of them, and I'm going to key her underneath both of them, hoping to get at least 10-1 on the exactas. I feel like Fluffy Socks, you will probably take more money than Market Segmentation, but I still think if Fluffy Socks takes money, she'll be about 7-2. That's kind of around the price she usually is in a field this size. Moving on to race 11, it is the Tampa Bay Derby, and I think Chad Brown will get at least a horse with enough points to get into the Derby. My top pick in here is going to be the number 5 domestic product with Tyler Gaffalione riding. Tyler rode him last time out, ran a very strong second in the Holy Bull last time out. If he improves off that effort, I think the rest here are running for second. That Holy Bull, it was pretty good, especially when you compare it to the races that most of these other runners in this field have run. The other horse in here, though, I'm going to use is the number 4, Good Money, another Chad Brown horse. If this one for some reason is high odds, I will play it to win. I don't think he will be, especially with Irad riding. He broke his maiden first asking here at Tampa with Camacho riding. Camacho is one of the top riders here normally when Irad and company don't ship in for these big days. Gets the jockey upgrade today, though, to Irad. Has the pedigree to go 2 turns, so I don't think the stretch out in distance will be any issue. He also showed the ability to stalk the pace on debut, which I like. Not always huge on the first time out gate the wire horses. I like that they can already sit off of horses and make a move, and that's kind of what he did on debut. And I do think he'll be close enough to the pace, whereas domestic product I think will kind of be in that like second flight of horses. So Irad might just be able to get the jump on everybody with the number 4 Good Money. Chad Brown exacta, I'm going to hope it pays something around like 12-14-1 here. If it is, I'm going to play it both ways. If not, I might just end up playing a win ticket on both of them and using them to close out my multi-race sequences and my like double tickets and everything. I do think the 2 Chad Browns are just much the best in this field. I'm not huge on the favorite, and I'm not huge on the Todd Pletcher runner that is going. So I do think it will be Chad Brown Day on Saturday at Tampa. Looking at Sunday's card, race number 6 is a maiden special weight going a little over 1 mile here. I'm back and forth between who I'm going to use as my top pick, but I'm going to play an exacta here. The number 4 Causeway for Chad Brown, who I guess I just like a lot this weekend, didn't have the best of debuts. He ran 6th, but he ran 6th in a race that's had a couple horses come out of it. who have won. The fifth place finisher, BU, won on the Fountain of Youth undercard last weekend. And Conquest Warrior came back to win again. I think Causeway is going to improve. The workouts since that race kind of seemed that like this one needed a race to get fit based on how he's been working. So I think the number 4 Causeway will be a solid play. The other horse that I am looking at here is the number 2 Protective for Todd Pletcher with Sammy Camacho riding. Ran very good on debut last summer at Saratoga. Did lose to the betting favorite that day, but made up ground in the stretch. Looked good. Seemed to kind of find his best strides pretty late in the race. Today he comes back. He gets Lasix. Todd's pretty good at this move, especially with these 3-year-olds coming in off the 2-year-old layoff. Todd is easily one of the best in the game at that. He had Irad on debut too, who, I mean, anytime you get Irad on debut, Irad usually goes with horses that are pretty live. So the fact that he had Irad on debut, now he gets Camacho, who's one of the top riders here. I think he's going to be live as well. I would kind of expect this one to be lower odds than the number 4 Causeway. But it's a short field. If we can get 8 or 10 to 1 on this exacta with these two, I would be more than happy. I'm gonna need at least 3 to 1 on them to play them to win though. But for multi-race sequences, these are the 2 horses I would use in this spot. I think really don't see a scenario where one of them isn't the winner. Not huge on anybody else in this field. Race number 9 is a maiden special weight going 1 mile and a 16th on the turf in the number 10 Catch a Wave for guess who? Chad Brown. Has a pedigree that I just have to give a shot to first time out here. Nobody in this field who had run before really did anything for me. And this one just has a pedigree that I think he could end up being a solid horse for Chad. Sired by Curlin, but the dam is grade 1 winner Harmonize. She was a grade 1 winner on turf. She won a couple other stakes on turf as well. She placed in a bunch of them. She was a pretty solid turf horse. I think it just makes sense here. I'm not usually a huge fan of runners like this debuting at Tampa for Chad, but he does have success here. He gets Gallardo riding, who is one of the top jockeys here. So not like he's getting he's putting a bug on Catch a Wave or anything. Makes sense. I think the horse makes sense. I think from the 10 post, we might get those odds drifting up a bit. I'm hoping we get about 4 to 1. 10 post, not fantastic here at Tampa, but the works on this one, I think he's been working pretty good for a debut. If he runs to his pedigree, I think he's just the one to beat here. So that's the number 10 Catch a Wave. I'm just gonna play a win ticket here. I'm gonna single at the end of my multi-race sequences with this one, and I'm just gonna hope that I'm right here, that this was the spot that Chad just wanted for it. Gets the mile and the 16th on the turf. Gets one of the top jockeys with a horse that is very well bred. So best of luck if you are playing Tampa Bay Downs this weekend. Again, Saturday is Tampa Bay Derby Day. 50 points to the winner for the Kentucky Derby. Best of luck, and I will see you next time.